Hey everybody, so I wanted to make this video just going over some important things, stuff like the moon phases. So anyways, I wanted to put this video together because I know when I do my live guided rituals, my moon rituals, sometimes the time goes a little bit over because I'm a chit chatter. So anyways, I was hoping to save a little time on the next time I do a moon ritual with you guys, and so I'm just going to touch base on a few things that are important that I like to explain when I do my moon rituals so that people understand more information about them. So I'm going to go over the 4 major lunar phases. So first one is the new moon. So the new moon is when you will not see the moon in the sky whatsoever. And another name that they like to call, or that we like to call this moon phase, is considered the dark moon. So that is another phase name that you might hear when it's in the new moon setting. And so then also, just so you know, this is when the moon rises and sets with the sun, and that's the reason why we don't see the moon. So there you go. Also, if you're familiar with the triple goddess at all, that's the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So each one of those is also related to the moon cycle. So in the new moon cycle, that's going to be the maiden. And the maiden is all about entering a phase of new beginnings, new starts, where you are light and free and ready to just explore and learn new things. And so that is the maiden phase, which is also the new moon phase. Now, during the new moon, that is the time where we plant seeds of intention. And when we plant those seeds of intention, these are things that we want to bring into our life. So that could be, wishes, dreams, goals, that type of thing. So that is the time when we plant those seeds of intention. So this is considered the first day of the moon cycle, and the moon cycle goes 29.5 days. Okay, so let's see, moving on. The next part of the moon cycle is considered the waxing moon. And this is when you're going to see just a sliver of the moon starting to appear. The moon cycle goes through very quickly, and it goes through the zodiac as well very quickly. So if you follow any of that, you'll notice how fast it changes. So the waxing moon is going to be the crescent moon that you'll see in the sky, and that is considered the first quarter. And this is a time where, at least for me, I get this like total punch of energy, and I'm like ready to get things done, This is the time to manifest the things that you want in your life, and it's the go, 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 go time. This for me is the time where I've noticed I get the most accomplished. And that lasts about 2 weeks. And again, this ends right after the new moon phase. Like the very next day we go into waxing. So it's a very powerful time to get those things, those seeds of intention will start to happen quickly at that time. Next up is the full moon. And some people might think that the full moon is the last of the phases, but it actually isn't. It is actually considered the middle of the moon cycle. And the full moon, of course, is when you're going to see the big, entire, beautiful Lady Luna in all her glory shining brightly down on us. So that is the full moon time. And that, of course, is the mother time and the mother phase time of the triple goddess. So the mother phase is all about becoming stable, more powerful, and maturing and kind of developing the things that we want to in our life. And so this is also a time that you'll notice that emotions are completely amplified. Now, the reason why is just like, the moon in general, it really does play a part in our everyday life. If you live in California, you know that high tide comes when the moon is up, right? So it just goes to show how much pull and energy that the moon actually has on us as humans, because it's actually affecting the world around us. So you will start to notice that people and emotions will be amplified during the time of the full moon. So that is totally normal. So that is the full moon. Next is the waning moon, and this is when you will again see a crescent in the sky. This is considered the third quarter in the moon phases, and it is also, this is the time that is the chill time. This is what I consider the chill time. So, basically you did all this work, and, it's the time to kind of relax, settle down, reflect back on the things that you've accomplished and learned, and be ready to recharge yourself and to be ready to begin the moon cycle again on the new moon. So this is considered the crone phase in the triple goddess of phases. And this is all about, learning about being wise and having compassion and to be proud of the accomplishments that you've made thus far, and knowing that your intuition is your best companion, and to keep focused on following your intuition. And that's what the crone is all about, the wise, woman, So basically the way to break it down so it kind of is a nice visual for you guys is I like to think of the moon phases like a plant, right? So in the new moon phase, we dig a little hole in the dirt and we plant those seeds of intention, okay? And then, the waxing phase is the time when we water it and we make sure it gets lots of sun, right? And we give it lots of love and energy, and we're putting all this love and energy into building this plant up. And little seeds start to sprout up, or little plants start to sprout up. The full moon is the time when we pull those nasty weeds that we might see in the plant that aren't serving its highest good. And that's the time we pull we pull the weeds out of this plant. And then the waning phase is the time where we chill and we admire this beautiful, beautiful plant that we've grown from start to finish. Now the full moon is the let go time, and that is the moon again where we let go of things that no longer serve us in our life. So new moon is where we plant the seeds of intention. Full moon is letting go of the things we no longer need in our life. And the reason why we do that on the full moon is because it's the best time to let go of things so that we are ready to open up ourselves to bring into ourselves the things that we really do need in our life. So that is how we work with the moon cycles. So another thing that I wanted to cover in this video also is about moon sign versus sun sign. So a lot of you probably already know what your sun sign is, and we're talking about astrology, zodiac type stuff, right? This is the whole, what's your sign, baby? It's one of those. So everybody knows what their sign is, right? So that's considered your sun sign. And that is based off of the month you were born and the day, right? So we all know what that is. And so that is more about where it's like what you express outward for everyone to see. So it's kind of like another word that they like to call the sun sign is your star sign. So you might hear it being called both. And this is like your sparkly personality and how you shine bright outward for all to see, just like the sun and the stars, right? So the moon sign is where it gets a little tricky. So the moon sign is all about, or how you figure that one out rather, is it's based off of more information. So it's harder, or more people don't know what their moon sign is because it's a little more complicated to figure out. So you have to figure out your month of birth, your day, your year, your time of birth, and the location of your birth in order to figure out your moon sign. So basically what this is it's where the moon exactly was when you were born. Just like the sun. That's your sun sign, where the sun was in the zodiac the day you were born. So the moon sign, is a little more tricky to get the information for, but it's really important to have because together the moon sign and the sun sign really work beautifully. Now, with the moon sign, the best way to get this information is probably getting out your birth certificate because all that information is going to be there. And if you need help figuring out what your moon sign is, I do actually have a blog all about this. I will try to, I don't know if I can link it or not, but I'll see what I can do. And, in that blog, it will talk about all the moon signs. And it also has a way that you can calculate it based off of that information. But if you need help or get stuck, you can always reach out to me. I'm always here to help you guys. So just let me know. Now, what is the moon sign? The moon sign is all about more of your inner self. So this is all like about the inner self, your emotions, and how you relate to other people. And that's what your moon sign is. So when the moon sign, is with the sun sign. So you have the sparkly personality is the sun sign, how everybody sees you, and the inner stuff and your emotions and all that, and how you relate to others is all about your moon sign. So you can see why they're really important to know both. Another reason why it's important to know about your moon sign is because when the moon is in the certain zodiac of your moon sign, that energy behind that moon is going to affect you even more so. So you're going to experience it like 10 times over. So that's just something that will help you if you know this information. When your moon sign comes up, you're going to know when the moon is in that sign, these things are going to be happening for you. That's the energy that's going to be going on. And if you're aware of it, then maybe you can, you know, kind of like hold back or alter the way you're feeling or thinking or reacting to things. So it is really important and good to know. Also, just another note, the moon cycle, as it is, like I said, 29.5 days is each moon cycle. The good news is if the things that you wished for on the new moon haven't quite happened yet, you get to ask for them again, you know, the next month. So it's always going, and that's exciting because we're always able to keep working with that energy with Lady Luna and the universe to make things happen in our life, and fast. Another thing is sometimes people are stuck on dates like, oh, well, it says on my calendar that the new moon is on this specific date. Well, it is just, you know, so everybody understands it's based off of your location. So some people, like East Coast people, it might be like the day before or the day after when, say, I would do a new moon ritual or full moon ritual. Now, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's based off of your location. However, the energy of the moon is present, and the energy behind these new moons and full moons and that type thing is actually present the day before, the day of, and the day after. So if for some reason something comes up and you're just not able to do the new moon or full moon ritual on the actual day, don't fret. It's really not that big of a deal. You can pick a different one of those days nearby it, and it's totally just as powerful and will help you just as much. Also, another thing that I could mention is, you know, you don't have to do every single new moon and full moon cycle ritual. If you're not into it, if you're not feeling it, it's okay. You don't have to do it. Me personally, I enjoy and need that time to connect. And so I do it every single time, like religiously. But not everybody has to. It's just all what you're needing. So if you're just not feeling it, don't do it, you know, like that's the cool thing. You have the power to choose. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video a little bit about the moon cycles and your moon sign versus your sun sign. I hope this answered some questions, and hopefully it'll save us some time on the next ritual. Okay, guys. Again, if you have any questions, I'm always here for you. You can always reach out to me. You can email me at bridget.m.shoup@gmail.com, or you can also find me, of course, on my website, which is that's the letter B, moonstruck.com. All right, I am sending you light loves and lunar hugs. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you on my next ritual. Bye.